feel like you have got 57 tabs open, you're unable to focus, and you are either going to cry or maybe even punch someone out, you are probably in overwhelm. And if that is you, my lovely, you are in the right place, because in this short 10-minute video, I am going to show you exactly what you need to do to go from overwhelm to back in the driver's seat. And I am going to share with you my simple but highly effective 3-step technique that I use and my clients use. And overwhelm happens to all of us, lovely. So please don't beat yourself up. Just grab a pen and paper, listen to these tips, because we are going to show you how to take control again. And today's question actually came from a listener, so shout out to Krishna. She asked me this on her amazing podcast, the Yoga, Bellies and Babies podcast, about how we manage overwhelm. So let's get to it. So if you are new around here, hello, welcome. My name is Alice Dartnell. I am a time and energy management coach. I work with busy business women, maybe like yourself, to help them get clarity, to get structure and results so that they can create a life and a business they actually want. In this channel, we are all about saying goodbye to procrastination, overwhelm, shiny object syndrome, and we are all about taking control of our time and our energy, and that also means our overwhelm. So make sure that you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the like, and let's dive into this simple 3-step process that I promise you is going to be an absolute game changer when you feel overwhelmed. Okay, so first off, lovely, let's just acknowledge the overwhelm. Overwhelm can happen to all of us, myself included. I'm not immune, even though I specialize in this. And overwhelm can happen for so many reasons, and we're not actually going to dive into that in today's video. But as a time and energy management coach working with busy business women like yourself maybe, one of the biggest triggers that I see to overwhelm is a lack of clarity. And what I mean by that is when we get to that stage where there just feels like there is too much on our plate, when we don't know what to do, we don't know what to prioritize, we don't know what to tackle first, that is when the overwhelm kicks in. It just all feels a little bit too much. So when your brain is overloaded, unfortunately, it piles up and then it triggers the sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight. Now, what's happening here is there's a part of your brain called the amygdala, and this is your brain's fear center. So when we're having all these things bombarded at us and we feel a bit overwhelmed, we're like, oh my God, this is triggering our amygdala. And then once that happens, logical thinking shuts down, prioritizing feels impossible, and even the tiniest task just feels a little bit too much. So when the amygdala is highly active, it kind of almost hijacks our prefrontal cortex, that logical decision-making part of the brain. And that's why it then becomes so hard to think clearly and prioritize, and voila, hello, overwhelm. And this is normal, by the way. This is just the brain responding, doing its job. But just because the brain is doing its thing, it doesn't mean we want to stay there. But because of that little bit of neuroscience, this is why this simple 3-step process is like a total reset button on your overwhelm. Now, on that note as well, lovely, I just want to remind you that you have to look after you. When we have a good foundation in place, when we have lots of things then getting thrown at us, we are able to cope better when we have that foundation, that solid foundation in place. And this is why I'm such an advocate, not just of time management, but energy management. Because if you're in a place where you're already feeling a little bit, and your fight or flight system's already a little bit jacked up, then one more thing added to your plate is probably going to tip you over the edge. So it's not just the fluffily Instagrammable self-care stuff, you know, have a bubble bath and a face mask. Don't get me wrong, I do love all that, but it's also the energy management foundations to your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional. That's what's really important as well. Okay, so let's dive in, and we're going to go straight in with the first step, and that is to brain dump. Yep, grab a pen and paper, grab your phone, write everything down that is going on up here. And I mean everything, okay? Do not censor it, do not filter it. It could be that client email that you haven't replied to yet that you was meant to 3 weeks ago. It could be, what am I going to feed the kids tomorrow when it's just me? It could be that you've got to remember to get your friend Josie a birthday present. Whatever it is, brain dump and write it down. And it might be really small things like, oh, I really need to get some more dishwasher salt. Or it could be some really big things like, do I pivot in the business or not? Whatever it is, write it down. Now, the reason why this helps is because when it's in our brain, it becomes a little bit too much. And again, this is going to kick the amygdala fear center into action. So we actually want to be able to physically see it laid out. Now, what I don't want you doing here is getting like perfectionist about it. Do it in whatever way you can. If it's a scrappy bit of paper and a crayon, do that. If it's, I need to go for a walk and I'm going to voice note the brain dump and then get ChatGPT to write it up, do that. There is no right or wrong here. So I just want you to brain dump everything that is in your head, because it is taking you mental energy and capacity to hold it up there, which is only going to just tip you into overwhelm even more. Okay, so you've got your brain dump. Now what? Step number 2, we're going to prioritize. Now, the reason why this is so important is because when it's now nicely written out, we need to be able to triage it. We need to be able to go, right, what is urgent, what's a priority, what's important, and also, this is a really important thing, what is in my control. Now, we can learn something here from Stephen Covey, his circle of influence and his circle of concern. And what he says, there are some things in our life that we are concerned about, but we can't really do anything about it. And there's some things in our life that we can influence. So something as simple as the weather. You can't control the weather, but you can control whether you take an umbrella out with you or whether you check the forecast before. So this distinction is really important, because there's some things on that brain dump that you've just created that you will not be able to have any control over, and that is okay. They're probably not the ones for you to focus on right now. And sometimes even just seeing it laid out and going, yeah, that's not actually something that I can do anything about right now, instantly can take some of that overwhelm out. So you've brain dumped, and now we're going to start triaging and prioritizing. We are going to start looking at the things that we do actually have a chance of influencing or doing something about. So start looking through that list. And if you are pushing something back for later, it doesn't necessarily mean you're ignoring it for later. You're just prioritizing that maybe that isn't something that you need to do right now. Now, the reason why prioritizing is so important is because so many of us waste so much time and energy and mental capacity worrying about things that we really don't need to be worrying about. But after you've done the brain dump, after you've done the prioritizing, the next step is to plan. This is where we're going to turn this clarity, this brain dump, this prioritization into action. So from your list, start identifying your priorities that are going to help you move the needle forward, that are going to take the biggest load off your plate at the moment. And then I want you to actually plan that in. Don't just create a to-do list. Don't just go, right, boom, 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 yeah, I'll sort that out later, because we all know that later never happens. I want you to get really particular, really specific about when are you actually going to do those things. Get your diary out, time block, say, yeah, Thursday morning I'm dedicating to that. And even if you can't do it right now, as I said, it's okay to push it back. It's okay to say, right, that's not something I can tackle this month, but I can next month, or once this frees up, then I can proceed with this. I have got a whole video on time blocking with a real life demo, by the way, so I'm going to link that below, because that is going to be an absolute game changer for you in your planning if you're not already doing it. But back to overwhelm. The reason why the planning is really useful as well is because, again, we're calming that part of our brain that is freaking the fuck out, because we can say, right, you don't need to freak out anymore, because we know this is a priority and it's going to get done here. Now, you may be thinking, but what do I prioritize? What do I plan in? This one is a little bit up to you, okay? Now, it could be that for you in your situation right now, that there is one big like all burdensome weight on your shoulder, that if you could just focus on that and clear it off the decks, the overwhelm would disappear. Maybe that's the thing to tackle. But likewise, it could also be that you have got 100 small niggly things that are eating away at you, and I call this the death of 1,000 paper cuts. It's not a big thing, it's all these little things just chipping away at your time and your energy. And actually, if you just spent a morning in a coffee shop and blitzed through those, like half your overwhelm would be gone. So have to think about that. What's urgent? What's the most awkward? What's the most ugly? What's the most like pressing? What's the biggest thing? You know, what is it for you? And we're all different, and every situation is going to be different as well. So this 3-step process isn't a one and done. This is something you can do every single day. This is something you can do every single hour if you need it. It's just a 3-step process to help you take you out of that overwhelm. Okay guys, I told you this was going to be super simple. That is it. Your 3-step process to take you out of overwhelm and back into the driver's seat again. We're simply brain dumping. Then we're prioritizing, and then we're planning it in. And remember guys, that overwhelm isn't a sign that you're failing or you're doing things wrong. It's literally your brain just doing its job and asking for some help. It's asking for some clarity and structure. So when you brain dump, when you prioritize, when you plan, you are giving yourself that ability to breathe and take yourself out of that kind of fight or flight survival mode. And be honest with yourself, when you're in that state of fight or flight and survival, and that is not when you're at your best, and that is not when the problem solving, decision making best you is going to be available. So if you try this, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a comment or message me on Instagram. Let me know if this has been of use. And if you are trying to figure this all out on your own as a business owner, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, overwhelm often comes from just trying to do it all on our own. So if you're ready to step into a world where you are supported and you've got a coach, then drop me a message, or let's chat, let's book you in for a call, and let's see how my coaching can support you. I'll pop a link in the description and we'll see if it's the right next step for you. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I will see you in the next video. Make sure to check out the time blocking video, because if you pair that one with this one, oh my god, overwhelm be gone. And I would love to hear from you. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. The right video, because in this short 10-minute video, why can't I say video?